It's not David Ornstein, it's not Fabrizio Romano, but it definitely is in like 3 or 4 different places. So it makes me feel like where there's smoke, there must be fire. Sir Jim, be my knight in shining armor. Bring me Joao Neves. City's goal is sports washing. As we all know, there's no way around that. Hey guys, I just got done editing the video. This one was a serious one. It's not our usual, let's have fun and laugh kind of videos. If you haven't seen my past videos, go back and watch the last 3 or 4. They've been getting pretty good traction online and people give me compliments about, my editing style. But today was a serious one. We had some serious topics to go over. I hope you enjoy, and I will see you soon. The first story or topic that needs to be discussed is that England-Iceland game that just happened yesterday. After the 1-0 loss, the English media kept attacking these players and using their faces in the images as their headlines wrote things like this. Now, I deem this unfair. I don't think that these players should be scapegoated. I think that there were bigger issues at hand, and the elephant in the room is the manager who nobody said anything negative about, at least not that I saw. What is it with how much protection Gareth Southgate gets from the English media? Is it because the FA warns the journalists that if they say anything negative about the manager, that they're not going to be allowed into the next press conferences? Or maybe they won't release players for interviews with them during the Euros if they say anything negative about the manager. Is that it? Do they not call him out because he's a good old Caucasian English lad? Is that what it is? Because that's what it seems like to most of us. Every fan is curious as to why, when everybody can see his lack of managerial nuances or tactical creativity, no one is saying anything negative about Gareth Southgate. Gareth Southgate is not fit to manage England. And what scares me the most is that he's connected to my team. There's a lot of rumors out there that our new owners, Ineos, are interested in Gareth Southgate. And I wonder why that is. Oh yeah, because Dan Ashworth appointed him as the England manager when he was at the FA. Is this a good old Caucasian English lad club that I need to worry about? Hopefully all those connections, Southgate to Manchester United, are rumors. Hopefully Dan Ashworth has woken up and realized his mistake and that he probably shouldn't have appointed him as England manager to begin with. And we can all move on. But I can't tell you with 100% confidence that our sporting director, who appointed Gareth Southgate and at the time thought he was making a great decision, doesn't at least think that he's a viable candidate for the Manchester United job. The next topic we're going to discuss, or a couple of topics we're going to discuss, are quick-fire rumors that are in the news right now about transfers. And if there are any City fans with us here today, the last thing we're going to talk about is the main topic of the day, and it might make you angry if you're a City fan. So if you're a City fan, you should probably leave now or have an open mind and hear out my argument because it's a good one. Okay, first rumor of the day is that we are interested in a striker from Sevilla called En-Nesyri. I don't really know much about him. I don't watch La Liga that much. But his record is 73 goals in 190-something games. That's not that bad, especially because he's 27 and we could get him for somewhere between 15 and 20 million euros. That's also not that bad. So he's actually a good fit to come in as a backup and start in some cup games. And who knows, he might hit a hot streak because he did score a decent amount of goals in Sevilla. And he could start a couple of games and give Højlund some competition. I'm actually okay with this. This is a good bargain buy. This is an example of a bargain buy that we should all back. So hopefully that is something they're going to do because I think our bulk of our money needs to be spent on defensive midfielder. And that brings me to my next big rumor. Our next big rumor is this Joao Neves story. It just doesn't seem to go away, which is great. I love that. And now there are leaks coming out or stories coming out in non-reputable fashion. It's not David Ornstein, it's not Fabrizio Romano, but it definitely is in like 3 or 4 different places. So it makes me feel like where there's smoke, there must be fire. His agent is Jorge Mendes, and this man and Sir Jim Ratcliffe do have open dialogue. And Jorge Mendes has actually always been really good with Manchester United. So hopefully he can work out a deal with Sir Jim Ratcliffe and bring in this kid. This kid is awesome. This kid is only 19 years old, and this kid could be with us for a very long time. And if you haven't seen him play yet, pay attention to Portugal in the Euros. I don't know if he'll start because of his age and because they have Paulinho there, who's very dependable and a little more mature, but he will get some games and he will get some time. Watch him. If you watched a friendly, I think it was 3 or 4 days ago, he did awesome. He did really good. Watch this kid. This kid is could be a game changer for us, and he'd be with us probably for at least a decade. He's only 19. I'm looking forward to it. I'm hoping these rumors are true. Please let them be true. Sir Jim, be my knight in shining armor. Bring me Joao Neves. Okay, so we're down to our last story. This is an important topic of discussion, so I want to try to choose my words carefully, but I also kind of pride myself on speaking off the cuff and letting it just pour out the way my emotions feel like letting them pour out. Of course, sometimes I say things I regret, and after I post a video and I get a comment or two, I go, man, I should have said that a little bit differently because I think it came across incorrectly. But I'm speaking from passion. I am very, very passionate about the Premier League and Manchester United. Of course, I love Manchester United, but without the Premier League, you don't really have a Manchester United. So let's talk a little bit about the Premier League and how City may be on its way to destroying our beloved league. City fans, Newcastle fans, and I've even seen some Everton fans are starting to bunch us in with Liverpool and Arsenal and calling it the Red Cartel. I don't know if you guys have seen this, but it's kind of all over social media. We are known as the Red Cartel along with Liverpool and Arsenal because we want regulations that limit how much money you can bring in from sponsorship deals. Basically, the fair market value laws, that the APT laws that City's trying to do away with. Now, these fans claim that it's because they want to stay on top of the league. There's a little bit of truth to that. I'm not denying that there's a little bit of truth to that, but it does not stop other people from becoming strong. It just makes it so they can't become strong overnight. It makes it so they have to work their way, legitimately earn the profits they make so that they can compete. The problem is, City doesn't want to earn the profits they make. City wants to pump money in. So they want there to be no APT laws so they can get Etihad or whatever other company in Abu Dhabi to basically launder money and get billions of dollars funneled through them into Manchester City, which would then allow them to be compliant of FFP rules, UEFA FFP rules. Here's the thing. If you're going to be able to do that, then there should probably just not be any rules. There should be zero rules. Because think about it. The whole point of FFP rules is so that a team can't spend more than it can make. Okay? If you're going to pump your money through a third party into the team, that's still money that you didn't make. You didn't make that money. Now, City will claim otherwise. City will say that, well, those companies want to sponsor us and they want to pay this amount, which makes absolutely zero sense because no company will ever want to pay more than the fair market value of the thing they're buying. Nobody would voluntarily say, I want to pay 10 times more of whatever the purchase price usually would be for that thing. Not a company, right? So it's not legit. It's a bullshit fight. I've also heard the argument. I've had people come at me in Twitter, X, whatever, and say to me, any owner should have the right to invest however much they want to invest in their own companies. Let's look at the word invest. Investments are when monies are put into a project with a goal of getting a return on that money, making more money. That is not City's goal. City's goal is sports washing. As we all know, there's no way around that. There's no like, oh no, they're not sports washing, they're in business. No, they're not. They're not in business. Football is not their business. Football is their avenue to sports washing. That's how they make their country seem better, right? That's how they get political gains, if you will. So they're not in it with the goal to make money, which makes it impossible to compete against. Other teams are owned by businesses or investors who are in there to make money. They can't just keep pouring money in to make the fans happy and grow their brand without any realistic return for their investment. So it's impossible to compete against. Impossible. And the only teams that'll strive in that kind of universe are Newcastle and City. And other teams that'll benefit are like Nottingham Forest and Everton and Chelsea. Their owners want to invest, but they don't care if they win or not. They just want to be strong enough to get in the Champions League year after year after year. Whereas Newcastle and City have so much money that they can just keep investing until they're always winning first and second place every year. Basically turning the English Premier League into La Liga, or even worse, the French League, where PSG has exactly that scenario set up, where they can keep investing without any hope for a return and they don't care. PSG is not making a profit. Think about how many hundreds of millions they paid for Messi, Neymar, Mbappe. When are they going to make that money back? It doesn't matter because they're going to pour more money in. They're never going to make it back. And they don't care. No other owner can afford to lose what Qatari sports, whatever, has lost so far on PSG. And that's what would happen in the English Premier League, destroying competition. And now what's happened is that the French League can't even get a good TV rights broadcast deal. They thought they were going to be able to sell for $1 billion, and now they might have to settle for half of that to sell their TV rights because nobody wants to watch the French League. They're just not interested. Neither am I. I watch a lot of football, and I never watch the French League. So that's why that's dangerous. Now, there's a actual chance that they could win this court case, which will drop their 115 charges too. And let's talk about how they're going to win this court case, or how they can win this court case. Matt Lawton, who's been doing great reporting on this at the Times, reported today that City's lawyers have asked the Premier League to turn over all emails and all messages, texts, going all the way back to 2009 that concern Manchester City and the rules, the APT rules. This is crazy. They have the right to ask for it because they want to see if there's any discrimination in those emails and those texts. So now if one of these guys who work at the Premier League said anything negative about Gulf states, Arabs, or anything like that, that can be even construed as discrimination, then that makes their case really strong. There's 3 different ways to win a lawsuit. One way is you go to court, you prove that you're right and they're wrong, you win. Another way is to put so much pressure on the other side that they settle out of court and they give you most of the things you want. And then the third way is to just make it so expensive to fight the lawsuit that you just can't fight. And this tactic does a lot of things. Number one, all those emails, all those texts that need to be gathered from 2009 till now have to have lawyers read all of them over. The Premier League's lawyers have to read all of them over. That's going to cost the Premier League a ton of money. It's going to cost the Premier League a ton of money to compile these emails and do all the research that they're supposed to do. So that makes it an expensive lawsuit. And also, if there's one discriminatory word, slur, or anything that isn't, let's just say it wasn't even meant to be discriminatory, but it comes off or it reads like it is. Or someone made a bad joke. And I'm not saying that that's okay. I'm just saying one person can cost this whole lawsuit. This is a very serious matter. A very serious matter. And I don't think it's being talked about or thought of enough. City lawyers are amazing. They're really good lawyers. They don't just get whatever lawyers. These guys have the best lawyers in the country on their side, pouring through all kinds of different strategies to make sure they win this thing or put so much pressure on the Premier League that they have to settle out of court and give them most of the things they want. Watch this space. I don't know where this is going. All right, that's it for today. I know it was a serious one today. There's just not much to joke around about today. And I know in most of my videos, I like to be lighthearted and throw in some jokes, but today's just not that kind of day, guys. And next time, hopefully it will be. The Euros will start, the transfer window will be closer to be open, and I can be a little bit less stressful and start looking forward to next season. Guys, if you've been with me for this long, drop a like or subscribe, share the video. I'm trying to get my subscribers up. YouTube doesn't really share my video with that many people. I only get about 20,000 impressions, so I'm lucky to get a couple hundred views, and thank you for that. Thanks. Drop a comment down below too. Tell me if you liked the video or not. See ya.